How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, the reason why we do this, you probably had a long or you had a stressful day, and you want to come here to watch one of my videos and also hear one of my corny jokes. So here it comes. How many wives does a monk have? None. Get it? A nun? Religious? But anyways, let's get into it. So what we're going to be talking about is GME and AMC. AMC ended up having a monstrous day in the market, but GME, not so much. But there's some things that I want you guys to look out for when I'm doing the technical analysis. Also, we have a catalyst that came up for AMC as well, which I'll be discussing, and I'm going to be adding and giving you guys my thoughts afterwards in regards to how the performance for both of these stocks were today. All right, so we're going to be doing a technical analysis on GME, which ended up being down 16.77% on the day. So definitely not a day that we've been used to with GME. So just having the opposite effect. So one of the things you want to take a look at are what are the support levels are and what the resistance levels are, especially looking at the support levels, because I do believe that there's going to be some upside movement with GME coming either this week or even as early as tomorrow as well. I don't think it's completely finished as of yet. I do believe there has been an overselling that happened today due to the fact of AMC's movement and so forth, but let's get into the technicals. So as we can see here, the high of the day for GME, let's open up the chart real quickly so I can show this to you guys. We ended up getting to around 282, so $282.85. If we take a look what happened in regards to the pre-market, we end up having actually a pretty good move. We could see that we had some bullish behavior, actually reaching up a pre-market high of around 283, and not there for too long, as you can see by that skinny candle. One of the things we got to look out for, we had an area of support that we were holding down fairly well around 277, and then it got lower as we got closer into regular trading hours, holding itself up around that 275 area. So we talked about last week in regards to how important it was for GME to be holding down 265. So as you can see right here, as we go on forward, we have a big time sell-off right here. We end up getting down to a low of 225. As you can see from the RSI right down here below, this was definitely a buying opportunity, and many people did take advantage of this, as you can see by this upward movement in buying pressure. What was very interesting, the way how it dropped down and literally like touched back on the 21-day EMA was very impressive, but also not surprised as well. So we ended up having another sell-off, and then we end up getting to this level here, just around, we can call that $240. So we broke through that 265 resistance that we said was very important, which is all the way up to here. And then after getting all the way down to, as you can see over here, around 225, and then having looking like a support area for not too long from 1220 all the way over to 1240, where we're holding down that 240 area, end up having a strong move up, and then we end up hitting a resistance area here at $254. And as you can see towards, as we get closer to the end of the day, getting down to as low as $206. So far it's moved up to $218 in the after hours, so we're just trending below that 21-day EMA, which are one of those things where I'm looking at it like as far as tomorrow, if we don't end up getting a gap up, which I would be expecting to see a gap up reclaiming back into this 225 area, then if we gap down, we'll definitely be testing the 200s. All right, so we're going to be doing a technical analysis on AMC, which ended up having a great day in the market, being up 25.81%, and also having an overall amount of volume in regards to 277 million. Just wow. So as you can take a look right over here, we have a gap up. You're looking at the 5-day 5-minute chart. If you see in the gap up, the support area that we really did good holding down inside the pre-market was here, around that 1180 range. This was a range that actually we were familiar with all the way back here on March the 10th as well. So it was actually really good to see us actually revisit that area. So this being the low, when we take a look at the low during the trading hours, it was around this same particular area, right? It got down to as low as 1185, but as you can see here, it's showing 1187 because we have the 5-minute chart up. So we end up having a very, very strong move in the morning, getting up to $14.35. And this was actually not that surprising at all. We've already noticed whenever there's a lot of volume that comes into AMC, you have to keep an eye on it because you can see a really, really big move. And today was actually one of those days. If we take a look now, the resistance area, which ended up being our high of the day, we ended up getting up to $14.49. So that's definitely an area of resistance for AMC, because even if we look at the previous one earlier in the morning around 11, it was around $14.34. So when it tried to get past $14.50, it just was not happening. There was a lot of selling pressure. So what we want to do, I'm going to open it up a little bit for you guys so you could take a look quickly here. So support levels that we want to look out for, we already know about how well it held down 1180. So let's see how the support levels got better as the day progressed. So we can see here we have a support area, and it's very, very brief. You can see it's really sitting here around 1260. Then we go up again, we have 1280. We go up again, we have about $13. We go up again, we have $13.22. And then also settling on the support area, as you can see, we made numerous contacts, which I call the absolute area, around $13.40. This is definitely a key area that AMC needs to maintain. So as you can see right here, going on inside the after hours, we're at $13.85. So I'm still going to be remaining bullish as long as AMC is staying above $13.40, and as well as the support area that I'm seeing here around $13.80. It's doing a great job bouncing off this area. We could take a look right here as the day progressed on. We have a resistance area here around $14.21. So that's going to be something to actually keep an eye on as well for tomorrow, because if we can end up getting past that, then we can definitely look forward to seeing more of a bullish movement. Now, if we take a look at what the best time was to actually get into AMC, let's take a look quickly at the 21-day EMA. So AMC did a really good job actually staying on trend. As you can see right here as we go along, it kind of broke it here, broke it a few times, but not for too long. But as we can see going into even the after hours, we can see it's around $13.91. So it can be even more bullish if it finishes above that, so just so you're aware. But to kind of go back, if you were thinking about playing this AMC today, you definitely want to be looking at the 21-day because it did a fairly good job actually respecting that trend line as well. So in the morning would have been a great day as we go forward and so forth. So I must say, I was very, very impressed with the movement that we got in AMC. All right, so here's an article we're going to be going over talking about why AMC Entertainment stock jumped today. All right, so what happened? Shares of AMC have been on a wild ride from closing during the pandemic to becoming a Wall Street Bets forum favorite to announcing reopening progress. The stock jumped again Monday with shares up almost 22% as of 11 a.m. So what? Today brought company news on two fronts. First, Dalian Wanda Group, the Chinese controlling shareholder, has given up its majority control while still remaining the company's largest shareholder. But perhaps more related to the stock move, the company announced that it's starting to reopen its theaters in the important Los Angeles market today. Now what? The struggling theater operator has raised capital to keep it afloat until business restarts. Now that it is happening, investors are showing approval. The company's Burbank and Century City locations in Los Angeles County are reopening this afternoon. And AMC is planning to open all of its remaining 23 movie theaters in Los Angeles beginning on March 19th. Also pending local officials' approval, and the company said it hopes that all of the 53 California locations will be open. The reopening of movie theaters in Los Angeles County and throughout California is a momentous occasion for AMC Theaters, for our guests, for our associates, and for our studio partners, AMC CEO and President Adam Aron said in a statement. He noted that the Los Angeles market is about double the size of the New York City market. It being physically near the movie production studios is also symbolically significant. Investors are cheering both the reopening progress as well as the fact that shareholders can now meaningfully vote their shares rather than control being with the former owner. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So for my final thoughts, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing with AMC. And I'm also not surprised by the run-up that we saw earlier in the morning as well. Considering the catalyst that came out today in regards to more movie theaters reopening in the LA area, this is very, very significant. And it's also looking forward to what life is actually going to be looking like after C-19 and this whole pandemic thing is over with. And that's part of the things that we're very interested in seeing as shareholders, where AMC ends up going. Now for GME, I think it's very important that it stays having strong support in that $200 range, and as well as that $220 and that $225 area. So those are the areas that we want to see it actually hold down going into close today. So anything above $220, it's still looking fairly good. I do believe that there is a lot of people who are trading or invested in GME, took their money and put it in AMC. And it's understandable for them wanting to do that, right? They want to take advantage of the gains. They still do see that AMC is going to be running up, just like myself, I see that as well. So that's why I'm really not too surprised by the movement that we saw. Yes, GME had a very, very sharp drop today. And when we see things like that, we already know there's going to be a lot of panic selling. But congratulations to those who were able to take advantage of the dip. That also wants to make me put in the disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just make sure when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. We'll talk soon.